evidence is usually the knife that they stabbed him with. And so when James looks at the illustration that Abraham is giving, he's saying the faith, the evidence that Abraham actually believed what he said he believed is, I saw him take Isaac up to the mountain to offer him up. And he says, so he's justified by his works because his works are inextricable from his faith. Right? So we see in the two examples that he gives, one, faith is sharing and giving. If we are believers, we'll see sharing, we'll see giving. Right? Person says they need food, they need clothing. You don't just say depart and be warm, and then you go eat your steak dinner. That's not faith. That wouldn't be evidence of belief in a God who's merciful. And in the second illustration with Abraham, we see that faith is submitting and sacrificing and going. All right? So, if we're truly going to show that we have the faith that we say we have, then when God says go, we go. If God says our assignment is to go into all the world and preach the gospel, making disciples of all nations, how do I know if you have faith in that? I should see you making disciples. Now, put you on the spot again. Show of hands, how many people are consistently about the business of making disciples? So we got some work to do. Amen? Amen? Because again, back to the earlier illustration, what we look like when we say we have this faith, but it's not manifested in these works, we look like I was earlier sitting with my legs crossed, because we come to church on Sunday, and we sing and shout, and we lift up the Holy God, and we sit and listen to the Word, and we believe He's called us to go out and be witnesses. But the we that believe that stays in here. And then the us that goes out there is a whole different person that doesn't even reveal that to the world. We don't share the gospel Monday through Saturday. We don't sacrifice ourselves for our brothers Monday through Saturday. We don't live as witnesses Monday through Saturday. Amen? We think we're doing a good enough job just because we're not walking in open sin. Right? And we trick ourselves into this. They have this concept called lifestyle evangelism. I'm not mad at the concept in theory, but listen, that concept argues that your walk is your witness. Your walk is a part of your witness. But when they call a witness to the stand, at some point the witness has to do what? Speak. You got to testify if you're a witness. Right? The walk is what gives that witness credibility, so that when they get on the stand, somebody cares what the witness has to say. Right? Because if your walk is not upright, when you testify, they're going to challenge your credibility. But you've never, well, y'all don't watch the courtroom shows, y'all should really watch it. It helps with this kind of illustration. I'll pray for you all. But when you watch those shows, you've never seen them call a witness to the stand and the witness just sit there. And the lawyer asks them questions, they're like, didn't you see my life? You saw that I go to church. You're not going to come to Christ because you saw I go to church. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. Well, good. Alcoholics Anonymous helped some people stop drinking. What's that have to do with your witness? What are you witnessing to? Right? The scripture says we're supposed to be witnesses to Him first in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and othermost parts of the earth. So at some point, if we really have the faith, we have to submit to His will and go. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road.